Well, let's make an application which reads from text boxes and displays on labels. File, New, Project, and I'm using Visual Studio 2008. And I want a Windows Basic Windows application, Windows Forms application. I'm going to rename it to Names. I want to make sure that I've got it in the correct location. Let me put it in under Visual Basic. Okay. And that's it. Let's get started with this. So I have my application. If my Solution Explorer is not available and my property windows is not available, I can go to View and I can display those if those aren't there already. And if I need to, I could go and I could reset my Windows layout if I want to get things back to, I don't know if you want to call it normal. So I've got a form. Now, I should take some time and dress it up and make it look nice, but I'm going to just do the coding for this one, so I'm not going to spend much time on dressing it up. One of the things you should do is name your controls. So Windows Form, I'm going to call the first three letters FRM, names. And the text, enter names, and display. Okay. So I'm going to pull the toolbox out here, and in the toolbox under Common Controls, let's get two text boxes and two labels to start off with. So here's label number 1, label number 2, and let me go find the text boxes, and text box number 1 and text box number 2. Now I want to put my coding somewhere, and normally when we're first starting off on programming with Visual Basic, we use the button control for a lot of our coding. This is not always the way it is, but it's a nice handy place to place everything. So let's use a button control, and let's have a second button control. Now I'm going to be entering in names into these text boxes, and I want them to display somewhere, so I'm going to put another label, and let's put it right here. Okay, so I want to change the text on these. I should also change the name, but how about if I just change the text for now? Enter first name. Pull that back just a bit. Enter last name. And let's pull this back and line it up with that one. Okay, and this label I definitely want to rename. So let's go through and first I want to get rid of the any text that displays in here, any information that displays in here, and I want to change the name of this one because we're going to, and for a label, guess what the first three letters are going to be? How about LBL and display? Okay, so that's the name. By the way, the name of this control and the text that displays are two different things. Sometimes people get those confused, but okay, so let me go back and rename these because we're going to pull information from these, and therefore we may need a unique name. So instead of the default name of text box 1, let's make it a little more descriptive and call it txt f name, or first name. Okay, so that's the name of this one. Name of this one is going to be txt for text box and L name. Okay. Now our buttons, we btn display, and this one, and the text for this one is going to be, find text, it's going to be display names. Okay, and for this one, and this one I'm going to have to make a little bit bigger, and for this one I want the name of this one to be my exit button, so it's btn exit, and I want the text on this one to be exit. Okay, I'm going to make this the same size. Why not? Okay, well, it looks like that might be about it. So let's go to the coding window. Now, where are we going to place our code at? Well, like I said before, the button controls are a good place to start. How about this one, the exit button? Let's do that one first. And for the exit button, we want to say me, which is me is that this particular form. And this particular button, we want me to do what? Close, right? Okay. Okay. So the close method for this particular button. So this is an event, by the way. You notice that for this button, we've got a bunch of events we can choose from. How about a different event? How about no, no, no. Oops. Let me go back here. How about got focus? And on got focus, we can also close. Okay. Okay. So two different events for this same button control. One is when I click it. Clicking is an event, or when something happens. Got focus. You know what got focus is? Well, okay. Well, when we have focus, it's going to close this form. Okay, let's put some coding into, let me go back to design. Now, let me go with design. Now, I can jump to my programming anytime that I want to by just clicking on View Code. But there's a better way to do it, which is just go to the design and double click on the control that I want to program. So when I click this particular button, what I want to do, the event is clicking on the button. Now the programming means I want to take the information from those two text boxes and display them in that label display. So I'm going to do control space and LBL display, and I want the text to display, and the first information that I want to display is going to be I want to find the information from the text box first name, there it is, dot text. I've got a lot of different things that I can find about that text box, and what I want is the information that comes from that that the user entered, and that's going to be found in text. So txtf name is the name of that control, and text is the particular property that I want to get out of that text box. Okay. Oops, didn't want to do that. Let me go ahead and minimize this. Hide that so I can have more room there. And okay, so I want to concatenate. That means join together. My next text box, which is txt lname or last name. Remember we renamed it to that. And again, I want to get the text that's out of there. Okay, that's pretty much it. One thing I don't want to do is, let me go ahead and get rid of this got focus thing, because that's just going to cause problems later. I was just demonstrating that there are a lot of different events that you can choose. Okay, anything else we need? Well, I think that'll do it for now. I've got an error in here. Can you see what the error is going to be? And it's a logic error, not a compilable error, so it'll compile okay. And let me go see if it will compile okay. And build one succeeded, so looks good. All right, let's go ahead and run this or debug this. Start debugging. And there it comes up. Not very pretty, and that wouldn't get me a very good grade, but I think it might work. So, first name, Bill Mooching. Now, I put my closed programming in here, but in my coding for to display the names, I placed it in here. And remember, there's a label. It's a little invisible right now. In fact, it is invisible, which is right about here somewhere. So when I click this, it should pull the information from this text box and this text box, concatenate or join them together, and display them in this label. And there it did it. But see, the problem that I have there is that it ran those two names together. So let me exit and fix that. Now, it took the information from the first text box, and then it used this concatenation operator to join it with the information from the second text box. But what I didn't do is add a space between them. So let's do that now. I'm just going to put in my double quote, and join that together. And I think I should be good to go now. So let's try that. Debug, start debugging. And first name, last name, display. There it is, first, last. So, program complete. A little ugly, but workable. That is it.